Hey everyone, my name's Jeff. Welcome back to Jonesworks. We're finally in the new shop. I had to get a lot of projects taken care of after the move, but those are all taken care of now, and I'm very excited to get back to making videos. Today, we're gonna make this end table with a soft close drawer, and I've got something very special that's gonna be mounted on top of this thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Now let's get to the project. Alright, hello everyone, it's great being back. I've made a few end tables similar to this in the past, so I decided to pre-cut all the pieces and make this a shorter video. What I love about this design is it's so versatile. I've made this with shelves and drawers, doors, and of course you can finish it however you want. You could also build this however you want. You could use biscuits, dominoes, dados. I'm using pocket hole screws. It's very versatile. Let me know in the comments if this is a project you guys would like plans for. These strips I'm gluing in at the bottom aren't really necessary, but I like giving myself a little extra material to add some rubber feet at the end. Next, the lower shelf will go right on top of those cleats, and you can actually clamp the shelf to those cleats so it doesn't walk away when you are putting in the pocket screws. Then we'll glue on the other side right before gluing and screwing in strips at the top to finish off the main carcass. At the top you only need strips in order to glue on what will end up being the top. Alright, to put in the shelf at the correct height, I measured up from the bottom how high I'd like my shelf, then used a few quick clamps to set the shelf in place. Then I awkwardly screwed it in while trying to stay out of the camera's way. Moving on to the trim, I like using the select boards from the big box stores. These tend to be straighter and better quality than the regular boards. I started by trimming the sides and then cut the shelf trim to size, nibbling a little way at a time to get a perfect fit. Also, for a little more visual appeal, the side trim is about 1/4 of an inch wider than the shelf trim. After the trim and before attaching the back, I filled all the nail holes with wood filler and did a good sanding right before staining the carcass. I like to do this before attaching the back, that way you can get into the crevices a whole lot easier. Next I decided to assemble the drawer real quick. Very basic construction. I just used butt joints for this. I like to use these Rockler corner clamps when making drawers. I think they just make it a lot easier, and just did one corner at a time. Following the sides here, I cut the bottom to size and used it to make sure the box itself was square. After attaching the bottom, what I like to do is chamfer a 45-degree angle at the bottom just to kind of hide that plywood edge. Now I was mostly using scrap wood for this project, so by the time I got to the top, all I had was a half sheet of plywood that was big enough for the top. So in order to build it up, I just used all these 3/4 inch plywood cut-offs and just trimmed them all to size. Just using what I have, it's going to be covered up by trim anyway. After building it up to the desired thickness, I started gluing on the trim. Now, normally I would miter the corners for this, but I'm kind of going for a rustic feel, so I'm just using simple butt joints for this and then trimming them off with a flush cut saw. After sanding the rest of the pieces, I started staining the rest of the parts, throwing on stain to the top and the drawer front. For a finish, I'm using Total Boat's House Salon Clear, I think is how you say it, and I really like this stuff because it's easy to apply and it dries within an hour for your next coat. Attaching the drawer slides, I didn't show it, but I added those strips which brought the slides flush with the trim. Now all that's left to do is to screw on the drawer face, attach the handle, the top, and then the back. As you can see, very easy build. This is definitely a project you can knock out in a weekend or two. I was working on this between projects, which is why I had 20 different shirts on in this video. Now I am very excited to show you what I made this for. Alright, so this is a slot machine that was handed down to me from my grandparents. I believe it was my grandpa's. And when my grandma passed away, this thing actually wasn't working. So my dad and I spent a little time, cleaned up the gears, and we managed to find a jam, get it loose, and got it working again. That was a super memorable experience for me, and it meant a lot to me. So I just wanted to display it on something, so I thought I'd make this for it, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Now, you'll probably have noticed from previous videos that I really love the design of this end table. I've built it several different times and in several different ways. You can make it your own. You can add shelves, add drawers, add doors, whatever you want to do to make it your own. It's very sturdy. I love that the plywood sides go all the way to the floor, so even something as heavy as this is very well supported. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll catch you on the next project.